5, 4, 3.
There are many versions of the story, but legend has it that centuries ago, amongst the towns and villages in Ireland, there lived a drunkard known as Stingy Jack. Jack was known throughout the land as a deceiver, a manipulator, and otherwise drudge of society. But on one fateful night, Satan had overheard the tales of Jack's evil deeds in silver tongue. Unconvinced and kind of envious of all the rumors, the devil went to find out for himself whether or not Jack lived up to his vile reputation. Typical of Jack, he was drunk and wandering through the countryside at night when he came upon a body on his cobblestone path. The body, with an eerie smile on his face, turned out to be Satan. Jack then realized this was his end. Satan had finally come to collect his malevolent soul. So Jack made one last request. What else could he do? He asked Satan to let him drink ale before he departed to Hades. Finding no real reason not to accept this request, Satan took Jack to the local pub and supplied him with a lot of alcoholic beverages. Upon quenching his thirst and taking Satan by surprise, Jack asked Satan to pay the tab on the ale. Jack told Satan to transform into a silver coin with which he would pay the bartender. And pressed upon Jack's unyielding nefarious tactics, Satan decided to do so. But Jack shrewdly stuck the now transformed Satan into his pocket, which also contained a crucifix. The crucifix presence kept Satan from escaping his form. Jack then demanded from Satan that he would give him his freedom if he would spare Jack's soul for 10 years. So Satan agreed. 10 years later to the date, when Jack originally struck his deal, he naturally found himself once again in Satan's presence. Jack happened upon Satan in the same setting as before, and he seemingly accepted it was his time to go to Hades for good. As Satan prepared to take him to hell, Jack asked if he could have one apple to feed his starving belly. Satan foolishly once again accepted his request. As Satan climbed the branches of a nearby apple tree, Jack surrounded the base with crucifixes. Satan, frustrated in the fact that he had been entrapped again, demanded his release. As Jack did before, he made a demand that his soul never be taken by Satan into Hades. Satan agreed and was set free. Eventually the drinking had took its toll on Jack and he died. Jack's soul had prepared to enter through the gates of heaven, but St. Peter stopped him. Jack was then told by God, because of his sinner lifestyle and deceitfulness in drinking, he was not allowed to enter heaven. Jack was then sent down to the gates of hell. But Satan, having to fulfill his obligation to Jack, could not take a soul either. But to warn others, he gave Jack an ember. Jack took a turnip out of his pocket and carved a hole in it, placed the ember inside of it. From that day forward until the eternity end, Jack is doomed to roam the world between the plains of good and evil, with only an ember inside of a hollow turnip to light his way.